remember these words. Repeated pattern of behavior is your talent. The collective mind is the lowest mind in the world. I think we will have to create a canvas of being a three-dimensional human beings. I welcome you again in this show, Dr. Subhash Chandra Show. Last week program was received very well by the people. We have received almost 4,000 questions and entries for that episode. We will be answering wherever we can to those questions. और आज के शो के बारे में भी यदि आपके कोई सवाल हों, क्वेश्चंस हों, तो मुझे ज़रूर संपर्क कीजिए। आपके स्क्रीन्स के नीचे एड्रेस आप देख सकते हैं। आज का कार्यक्रम हम डेडिकेट करते हैं क्रिएटिविटी को। क्रिएटिविटी मीन्स टू क्रिएट समथिंग न्यू, टू come up with something very different and which has never been thought by somebody else. So what is the creativity and what are the things you require in yourself to be creative? मेरा ऐसा मानना है कि हम सब क्रिएटिव हो सकते हैं। कोई भी ऐसा व्यक्ति नहीं होगा जो कि क्रिएटिव ना हो सके, लेकिन अपने आप को पहचानने की आवश्यकता है। जैसा कि पिछले सप्ताह के एपिसोड में भी मैंने कहा, कुछ बातें क्रिएटिविटी पे बताई, और उसमें मैंने ये भी चर्चा की कि कैसे एक पोर्टर एयरपोर्ट से उठाया हुआ वो चीफ प्रोडक्शन इंजीनियर बन गया और आज 32 फैक्ट्री है वो संभाल रहा है। क्रिएटिविटी डजंट रिक्वायर यू टू बी वेरी वेल एजुकेटेड, पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट, PhD और एनीथिंग। क्रिएटिविटी is the greatest rebellion in existence today. क्योंकि अगर आपको उसमें क्रिएटिव बनना है तो अब तक जो कुछ आपने सीखा है, आपके माइंड के जो विश्वास हैं, आपकी जो पुरानी धारणाएं हैं, जो सब चीज़ें आपके अंदर कर चुकी हैं, उनसे आपको उनको भूलकर आपको आगे निकलना पड़ेगा। We have to get rid of all our past things, वरना आप क्रिएटिव हो ही नहीं पाएंगे। वरना आप क्या कर पाएंगे, सिर्फ कॉपी कर सकेंगे। जो चीज़ पहले क्रिएट हुई है उसकी कॉपी कर सकेंगे, शायद अच्छी कॉपी कर सकें, बल्कि ज़्यादातर के ये ऐसा देखा गया कि इट बिकम्स ओनली ए कार्बन कॉपी विच ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्ट। मेरे से लोग सवाल पूछते हैं कि आप किस प्रकार से, कहाँ से चले थे और कैसे कहाँ पहुँच गए, क्या आप भी क्रिएटिव थे? तो मेरा एक ही जवाब रहता है कि ये एक टाइम पे एट वन टाइम आई डिड थिंक ऑफ ओनली वन थिंग। आई डिड ओनली वन थिंग। आई डिड नॉट थिंक कि अभी मैं ये कर रहा हूँ तो आगे क्या करूँगा, उसके आगे क्या करूँगा, उसके आगे क्या करूँगा। अगर वो सोचते तो कुछ भी कर नहीं पाते। लिव इन द प्रेजेंट मोमेंट, डू बेस्ट व्हाट यू आर डूइंग करंटली, दैट ऑटोमेटिकली मेक्स यू क्रिएटिव। तो इसी प्रकार से हम करते गए और आगे बढ़ते चले गए। आई अगेन से दैट यू विल हैव टू बी ए रिबेलियन टू बी क्रिएटिव। और साथ में दूसरी चीज़, आदमी क्रिएटिव कब होता है? जो भी लोग क्रिएटिव हुए हैं वो इंडिविजुअल हुए हैं। ऐसा शायद ही कोई क्रिएटिविटी का उदाहरण मिलेगा आपको जहाँ पे एक आदमी ने 20 आदमियों के साथ मिलके कुछ नई चीज़ क्रिएट की हो, या 4 आदमियों से मिलके क्रिएट की हो। क्रिएटर किसी चीज़ का अकेला होता है, इंडिविजुअल होता है। और इंडिविजुअल जो है, व्हाट डज एन इंडिविजुअल वांट? ए टोटल फ्रीडम। एंड द फ्रीडम और द फ्रेग्रेंस ऑफ द फ्रीडम इज द फर्स्ट एंट्री टू द क्रिएटिविटी। यू हैव टू make your own different path. Trodden path are for the beaten people. You have to create your own path, and that's also another thing of the being creative. अभी हम यहाँ तक पहुँचे, आप बताइए आपके कोई सवाल हैं तो यहाँ तक की बात में, उसके बाद हम आगे जाएंगे।
Sir, as you told in your last program that you quit those programs or ventures which fall below second position. So and sir, with creativity risk comes automatically. तो सर आप जो है आप उस पोजीशन के लिए रिस्क लेना चाहेंगे या फिर क्रिएटिविटी के लिए रिस्क लेना चाहेंगे?
To be minimum, that is this my success criteria. Whether I became creative and I succeeded or not is the criteria I fix myself, that I have to be number one or strong number two. But creativity, being creative is always a challenge. You have to be creative all the time. But sometimes, because as I said, creativity is only of an individual. But when you convert that into a business atmosphere, there are 20 different people working with you. Everybody cannot be creative. Everybody cannot be like everybody else. So then it goes out of the creative domain and it gets into the business execution and everything. And in that you can fail or succeed.
Sir, as we all know that SL World was the first amusement park which was built on an island. It was a very creative and innovative idea as such. So how did you come up with something so unique like this?
This is a matter of, I would say, action and activity. When we are doing some activities is never creative. It's a very mechanical, it is very dead kind of activity. And creative can be only if you act. The way SL World was created was only that action, because we had purchased this piece of land. We were told by an advocate, sitting in the advocate's office, they said, you cannot make anything else other than an amusement park or a clubhouse because this is a no development zone. So we took an action. We said, yes, we will build an amusement park. It wasn't very well earlier planned or anything. So action is the first step of creativity. That's how SL World got created.
I'm Parth Mahajan, sir. I would like to ask you is that is creativity in an individual, it's inborn, or we can learn it from our experiences or examples we can read or see?
Very good question. Very good question. See, first of all, my belief is that there is some kind of talent in all of us, of different kind, but you can be creative as per your talent. The spaces in which you have got the talent, you can be creative. Some people have got a talent of being, let's say, a very good speaking talent they have. They are born with. Some children you must have read about or you have seen about, that they would remember once they see it, some pages of books or something, they will remember 100%. So those are the talents. So what I'm saying is that you will see the child all the time liking the cars. He will always play with the cars. He would love to behave as if he's driving. The repeated pattern of behavior, remember these words, repeated pattern of behavior is your talent. That is the talent you possess. Sometimes you don't know what talent you have. But notice yourself that this is your behavior pattern is repeated all the time. That is where somewhere your talent lies. So in that area you can be very much creative without any other thing. Rest, I think as we will discuss on this week and next week's program, we will say, I will tell you what I think are the necessary ingredients to become creative, what are the problem areas which we need to avoid, which are the areas we should train our mindset. So these are the 3 steps I will discuss with you. A lot of creators, those who have been celebrated later on, but initially when they were doing some act of creativity, they had to renounce their respect. Everybody would laugh at them in the beginning.
in our childhood or at early ages, we probably think of something that's passionate. We probably think of a profession that we can pursue or some aspiration that we have. You as a child, did you ever had a conventional way of thinking in a profession, or were you creative indeed from that time itself?
The thing what you are asking as a conventional method, I think it is a mob mentality what you are asking. The herd mentality what you are asking. When you are in a herd mentality or a mob mentality, you cannot be creative. Like many of you, if I'll ask question that why you are doing MBA, why are you doing engineering, why are you doing medicine, 50%, 60% of the answers I think will come that my friend told me. My friend was going in that class, so I said I will also go. My father told me, because my father is an engineer. He wanted me to become an engineer. Or my mother told me to become an IAS officer. So these are all mob and herd mentality. In herd mentality, you cannot be creative. I said to you earlier, it is an individual's perception. Herd mentality is like living a dragging life. Herd mentality doesn't know how to dance, how to sing. देखिए इस बात से समझिए एक उदाहरण से एक कॉल सेंटर मान लीजिए कोई चलाता है so normal question manager is asked that how many calls will come in a day and how many calls can be answered by an individual on an average. Some people can take 50 calls, some people can take only 20 calls. So my average is 30. So I'll need 30 number of calls to be received divided by 30. I will need average that kind of people. The moment you take average, that means you are going to recruit average people. You are going to recruit again based on herd mentality, based on mob mentality, and you will never be successful. You will never be happy. The creativity has to be an individual's act, and no organization, no people, if they start talking a collective wisdom and law of average game, then they will not be successful corporates. And many times people in the corporate world or in the government, they say collective decision. The collective minds are the best minds. And that decision is, they feel that collective mind is a power. It's a force in the world. A lot of time, the collective power is rewarded. They give recognition to such thing. But to my mind, this is not a appealing thought. The collective mind is the lowest mind in the world. I would say the smallest of the smallest innovation can also be a good creativity area. Lot of creators, those who have been celebrated later on, but initially when they were doing some act of creativity, they had to renounce their respect. Everybody would laugh at them in the beginning because what they are talking, nothing. But when it comes, then automatically they gain respect and everything. इसके बाद हम ये कहेंगे कि the current scenario of this contemporary world, we will have to create new grounds. A new soil have to be prepared for the humanity. अब तक जो होते आए हैं हम लोग अभी तक we were all one-dimensional people. जो हम काम कर रहे हैं, somebody is good at, let us say, mathematics. Somebody else is very good at managing the human beings. So everyone was single dimension. I'm a marketing person. I'm a finance person. I am such and such. So single dimensional people used to be there. Whereas I think we will have to create a canvas of being a three-dimensional human beings. That how do you create three-dimensional human beings? They will have all three C's in them. with 3 C's, I will say one is consciousness. Consciousness is you are aware of yourself, what is happening to you. The second is develop compassion. Compassion in yourself. And then with these two things, creativity will automatically follow you. Let me now explain to you how is consciousness. We have ourselves as a human being, we have 5 touch points in our body. Skin, nose, mouth, eyes, ears. You take input from these places. If you hear something in your ears, it goes inside your one part of the brain. That part of the brain recognizes something has happened, something has been received. Then it passes it on to a second part in the brain. That part of the brain recognizes that, analyzes that, what is it? And then that recognition results into that part of brain, which is consciousness actually, sends some kind of signals outside. And that signal gets converted into a sensation in your body. And if that sensation is good, smooth, soothing sensation, you say, oh, I'm happy now. You're not happy. You are experiencing these soothing sensations inside your body. आप कॉलेज जाते हैं सवेरे, सुबह से प्रोफेसर जाके वहाँ पे चिल्लाती है आपके ऊपर. कोई रास्ते में आपको 3 व्हीलर वाला मिला, उससे झगड़ा हो गया, उसके पास खुला पैसा नहीं था. You were late in reaching this college. And आपको डांट पड़ती रहती है. आपको दोस्त यार भी कहते क्या यार, you are not looking good today. Huh? You keep taking those intakes in self and you keep storing them inside yourself. When you like something, you start, what happens to you? You start craving for more. When you don't like something, you start hating, you don't want it. You create aversion towards it. So both aversion and your desire to have it more, they both keeps accumulating inside your body in the form of knots and knots. And that results into things that slowly and gradually we all human beings become kind of insensitive to ourselves. And we lose all our consciousness. What's happening to me at this moment? We do not know. Maybe somebody's mind is going somewhere else. Why I came to this DSC show today? I was supposed to go somewhere else, better things to do. You're neither here nor you have gone there. So we lose consciousness. Let me ask you a question. What happens to you when you are angry? Have anybody got anger sometime?
So we can't think properly. Whatever decisions we take are mostly wrong.
Yeah.
And then later we regret that we shouldn't have done something, or we shouldn't have said something to somebody.
Correct. So it means you lose your consciousness.
Yes, sir.
At that time. Any other person? Any question?
So when we are angry, you act impulsively, and rather than thinking about a situation in a rational manner, you do something that you regret later. And apart from that, sir, I also think that once you're angry, you shut down yourself to the world. You just do what you feel is right, and that is when you lose out on key opportunities and key moments, and that you regret throughout the entire moment, and you see it not as a good memory.
That's right. That's a good answer. You become self-conscious, or you become your ego comes in the way. That's what you're saying. But generally what happens when you are angry, at least that's what happens with me, काफ़ी जब गुस्सा आता है तो या सर भन्ना जाता है एकदम से, जैसे कि पता नहीं एकदम गरम तेल में ठंडे पानी का छींटा डाल दिया. ऐसा होता है कि नहीं? Your mind becomes like that, and then you lose all your consciousness. आप कुछ का कुछ भी बोल देते हो. चाहे वो सामने फिर नहीं दिखता आपको कि मेरे ग्रैंडफादर है, ग्रैंडमदर है, कौन है, टीचर है, कोई भी है, कुछ भी आप बोल देते। और बाद में फिर जब वो, जैसे आपने कहा कि बाद में आपको रियलाइज़ होता है कि ये मैंने क्या किया। और बहुत से लोग क्या किया रियलाइजेशन होने के बाद भी अपने आप को जस्टिफाई करने लगते हैं। वी फाइंड यस, जो मैंने किया ठीक किया, वो उसके कारण ढूंढ के अपने आप को कन्विंस कर लेते हैं कि यस मैंने ठीक किया। यू लूज योर कॉन्शियसनेस इवन फर्दर बिकॉज यू हैव कन्विंस योर सेल्फ कि यू हैव डन राइट, वेर एज यू नो योर सेल्फ दैट नहीं, मैंने ठीक नहीं किया। So you are moving away from being creative all the time.
Would you say that research can be called the death of creativity?
The percentage of wrong research is quite a lot. So your gut has to apply. Your gut has to certainly come.
सर मैं जानना चाहता हूँ आपसे कि क्रिएटिविटी को एक ना बहुत छोटे दायरे में देखा जाता है हमेशा कि एक पेंटर है, एक आर्टिस्ट है, या एक मूवी मेकर है, या एक फोटोग्राफर है, वही लोग क्रिएटिव हो सकते हैं। तो सर मैं जानना चाहता हूँ कि जो बिजनेसमैन है एक्चुअल में क्या हम उसे भी क्रिएटिव बोल सकते हैं कि एक बिजनेसमैन भी क्रिएटिव हो सकता है? क्योंकि नॉर्मली लोग देखते हैं कि ही इज़ जस्ट अनदर गाय हु इज़ रनिंग आफ्टर मनी। बिजनेसमैन के बारे में सर लोगों का ये व्यूज़ होता है, तो सर कैन यू एक्सप्लेन इट?
नो, ये तो गलत धारणा है आपकी कि ओनली ए पेंटर और ए पोएट और ए those people can be creative. Creativity is not linked with the piece of art or piece of creativity. Creativity can be applied in anything in life. I just saw in an airline, you must have traveled in airlines. There are on top of it, when they are landing or something, the two signs come. What are the two signs? Wear your seat belt, and second is no smoking. Okay, so most of the airline do that. Just 2 weeks back, I saw in one airline, because now it is smoking is not allowed in any airline. So they put there, please switch off your electronic devices. What would you call this? It's a small innovation which they have done. This is also innovation. This is also creativity.
So basically, creativity means to create, right? So it entails a lot of risk. Now, some businesses, when they're looking towards taking new risks, what they prefer doing is conducting some research. But research is usually based on past experiences. So in my opinion, research is a little bit like driving a car forward while looking in the rear view mirror. So my question to you is that often research will tell you to not take a risk, but sometimes you have to go ahead and take it anyway. So I wanted to ask you, have you ever taken any such risks or decisions just on the basis of your gut? And if so, would you say that research can be called the death of creativity?
I think I will not say that research is a death nail on creativity, but certainly research can be wrong. And the percentage of wrong research is quite a lot. So your gut has to apply. Your gut has to certainly come. For example, when I started SL Packaging, one very good research organization, consulting organization, they made about 200-page report for me, charged me 60,000 rupees that time. And they said, no, you should not put up this project. And they gave reasons why this is not viable. But I still went ahead and executed the project. Based on my gut, based on simple things, I said, okay, what is the raw material of my existing product whose competition I'm going to put up the factory? My raw material cost when I was starting the new thing was about 70% of the existing product. So my raw material cost is cheaper, but why I'm becoming more expensive because my capital cost is high. So with the result, it is making my product more expensive than the existing product. But how much expensive? Do people will perceive that as a value in their usage? Gut feeling came there. Felt, yes, I think it has got 5%, 7% extra price possibility, capability. And we launched it. As I said, we are today world's largest tube making company. Thank you.
If two creative people just join hands together, won't be a better thing? A very big example in front of us is Wright brothers, who created such a legendary invention, aeroplane. All we need is just a teamwork and understanding between those people.
See, creator is still one out of the two of them. The other second one is assisting and a perfect partner. Creator is only one of them, the original creator. Out of fondness, out of love, affection, one brother who is the creator, he may be saying, no, 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 my brother and me both created it together. But that is not a reality. That cannot be a reality. And collective wisdom, as I said, is a good thing to run a business or to run your life, run your house. But collective wisdom is not for creativity. We have Arjun
Yes, sir,
from Bangalore. Yes, Arjun, tell us what is your question.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. My name is Arjun from Bangalore. I'm working for Biocon Limited, Bangalore. So considering present situation in India and overseas opportunities are decreasing day by day, and what will be the situation in 2020? Because Australian immigration, Canada immigration, and US immigrations are now restrictions are day by day increasing. Sir, what will be the situation in 2020?
So, आप 2020 का आपको अभी से क्या डर लगा है?
सर, प्रेजेंट सिचुएशन में जहाँ पे अभी अपॉर्चुनिटीज ओवरसीज और इन इंडिया बहुत कम लग रहा है, इसकी वजह से अभी आने वाले दिनों में क्या सिचुएशन रहेगा, यही जानना चाहता हूँ सर.
देखिए 2020 में जहाँ तक मैं समझता हूँ, इंडिया विल बी इवन far better situation than what we are today. You will find more and more people interested in India as a whole, in Indian products, in knowing about Indian culture, Indian history, and many things. But you have to keep watching the trend to keep your business up. Move with the trend of the time and keep innovating your product line which you want to export to them.
As we all know that D is a very large network and you're on the top of the business world. So that shows how creative and dedicated you are towards your work. So
thank you for giving me that certification.
So what you are doing, your Z network is doing to empower youth creativity. Thank you.
Yeah, that is what we are doing. And I would add one more thing, that what I am doing again is I want to give it what I have learned. I'm not trading it. I'm not expecting anything in a return to this, what I'm doing today or every week. I want people of this country, youth of this country to benefit out of it. Because the moment, if I'm giving something as a barter, as I'm giving something to get a return of it, maybe in the mind comes, okay, I'll become known to more people, a lot of people will watch this show, I'll get more TRPs of this show, so moment I start expecting return, then it is no more creativity.
I would like to ask you that in these times, in modern times, most of the organizations, they look for specialization. They go for specializing in a particular field. But if we look at organizations such as SL Group, it has diversified into a varied range of activities. Whenever you're thinking out of the box, do you think of the consequences that will it be okay for me to go out of the box to progress into a whole different line of business?
आपको डर लग रहा है सोच के? डिफरेंट डाइवर्सिफाइड एरिना को सोच के आपको ये डर लग रहा है कैसे किया होगा इन्होंने, या
Exactly.
या सो नाउ देखिए ये एज आई सेड इन द बिगिनिंग, जब आदमी क्रिएट कर रहा होता है, क्रिएटिव मोड में होता है, बहुत से लोग उसको कहते हैं कि ये तो बेवकूफ़ है. You have to forego your respect, you have to forego your many things. But once it is created, then everybody says, oh, what genius he is. So same way, whatever we have done, it was not difficult. One thing came logically after the other. There was no rocket science which we applied. Only thing, as I said in the past, earlier 20 minutes back, that we let go all our conventional thinking, जो हमारे विश्वास थे, जो हमारी धारणाएं थी, जो हमको सिखाया गया था, जो पढ़ा था, उस सब को छोड़ दिया. उस सब को छोड़ के फिर आगे बढ़े और उसमें आगे बढ़ते चले गए. एक के बाद एक चीज़ आती चलेगी, एक्शन करते चले गए. चीज़ आई, क्वेश्चन आया, देखा एक बच्चे को वो टूथपेस्ट जब वो कर रहा था तो टूथपेस्ट के ऊपर एकदम काला हो जाता था. आप लोग तो शायद नहीं देखे होंगे, पहले लेड की ट्यूब आती थी टूथपेस्ट के अंदर, तो वो काला हो जाता था. एक बच्चे को अल्सर हो गया पेट में, तो उस क्रिएटर ने क्या किया, उसको एक्ट किया, उसके ऊपर एक्शन किया और एक्शन से रिजल्ट बना के लैमिनेटेड ट्यूब बन गई, विच वॉज मोर हाइजीनिक, विच वॉज मोर एवरीथिंग. तो इसी तरह से एसएल पैकेजिंग क्रिएट हो गई. तो क्रिएशन इज, एज आई सेड, इज पार्ट ऑफ एक्शन, नॉट एक्टिविटी.
So I want to ask you, is it the right decision to close it or to work hard for it?
It is better to recognize, accept, and then close it and do it better things. Yes.
अभी सर आपने डिस्कस किया कॉन्शियसनेस, क्रेविंग्स, अवर्जन्स की बात करी, तो मेरे को विपश्यना का ध्यान आया. एंड आई हैव रेड अबाउट यू कि यू हैव बीन अ कंटिन्यूस प्रैक्टिशनर ऑफ विपश्यना. मेरा क्वेश्चन आपसे ये है कि आप क्या समझते हैं कि विपश्यना कैन बी एक्चुअली अप्लाइड इन रियल लाइफ, मतलब बिजनेस प्रॉब्लम्स में अप्लाई कर सकते हैं? कैन इट बी प्रैक्टिकली अप्लाइड?
वेरी मच सो, 100%. पहले तो जो लोग बैठ जाइए, जो आप लोग में से विपश्यना के बारे में नहीं जानते, उनसे कहूँगा कि विपश्यना जो मैंने सीखी है मेरे टीचर आचार्य एस.एन. गोयनका जी से, दैट टेल्स यू हाउ टू रिमेन कॉन्शियस, हाउ टू बिकम कॉन्शियस. एंड एज फार एज एप्लीकेशन ऑफ विपश्यना इन योर रियल लाइफ इज कंसर्न, it is very much can be applied and very easily, but you will have to start practicing vipassana. I don't think you will be able to understand what I am saying, लेकिन फिर भी मैं कोशिश करूँगा. सपोज आपको किसी बात को लेके डर लग रहा है. डर एक ऐसी चीज़, प्रक्रिया आपके अंदर हो रही है, अगर आप उससे आप चाहते हैं कि ये डर मेरा निकल जाए, तो उस डर मल्टीप्लाई होता रहेगा आपके अंदर. It will keep on multiplying, and you will be more fearful, and that will make you really very kind of, you will not be able to take any decision properly in the real life. So the best is accept that you are getting fearful, and then watch your sensations, what is going on. And as the vipassana teaches you, nothing is permanent. जैसे आप वॉच करते रहेंगे और एक्सेप्ट करेंगे कि यस मुझे इस समय में डर लग रहा है, धीरे धीरे आपकी सेंसेशंस बदल जाएंगी, आपका डर चला जाएगा. तो रियल लाइफ में विपश्यना इज़ अ वेरी गुड टूल टू यूज़.
Sir, your channel was the first one to telecast a satellite movie, Fir Teri Kahani Yaad Aayi. So, how important how important was it for the, was it a turning point, because that initiative and that creativity is not that easily acceptable, but once it came, how important was it for your career?
This is true that ZTV was the first one to create and telecast a satellite movie, and lot of people liked it, and because there were so many advertisements in that, lot of people disliked it. परंतु उससे सीखने को मिला. You learn from every new experiment. That's part of it, learning. And next future movies which we created for satellites are well received. We have a caller now again. Rakesh Singhal from Greater Noida. Yes, Rakesh.
Hello, sir. My name is Rakesh and I'm from Greater Noida. And my question to you is, what steps an entrepreneur should take to make his business successful?
हमने आपको बताया कि you have to be, again, the same thing. You have to develop consciousness. You have to be compassionate, and that will creativity will come to you automatically, and certainly your business will be more successful.
Thank you.
Sir, I watched your show last show, and in that show you said कि if your business does not work, you should close it. And at the same time, we are told that always failure leads to success. From hard work and determination, we can achieve whatever you wish. So instead of closing it, and at the same time, you also said कि अगर किसी चीज़ को सच्चे मन से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात हमें उसे मिलाने में लग जाती है. So, sir, instead of closing it, we should see what is lacking behind that business and what should we do to improve that. So I want to ask you, is it the right decision to close it or to work hard for it?
There are businesses which there are, let's say, 20 companies doing same business. And you have your company's situation where it is being run by a CEO, and you have another situation where the similar product is being made by an entrepreneur who is working himself on that. You are registered, because you are a company, you are registered under large-scale industry, so you have higher taxes to pay than to somebody who is a small-scale industry registered, they have to pay lesser tax. So things of that kind make you uncompetitive in the marketplace. And there is no set of innovation which can make you overcome those weaknesses. So that time it is better to recognize, accept, and then close it and do it better things. Because also you have to see that if I continue doing this activity, is that better, or do I get onto a new activity which will give me better results? So it is better you hand over that business to somebody who can make some living out of it, and you move on to some better things to do. Okay.
Hello, sir. My question to you is, sir, you started from 17 rupees and now you are $1 million person. So what were the creative steps that you took in order to reach that $1 million level?
Because I relaxed. I always was in action rather than activity. I was seeing where is the need of what product, what is the trend of the future, what do the people want, what I want. So it's a combination of all. जैसा मैंने कहा ना आपको कि 4 चीज़ें आपको चाहिए. Be a child, be a learner, find nirvana in ordinary things, small things, and the 4th one, be a dreamer. I was a dreamer. I am a dreamer still. I still dream of different things. You should also dream. And life is so wonderful. Good? Thank you very much.
उम्मीदें हंसे अब मुश्किल अगर आप भी डॉक्टर सुभाष चंद्रा शो में भाग लेना चाहते हैं तो हमें SMS करें DSC स्पेस अपना नाम टाइप करें और भेजें 57575 पर। आप हमें ईमेल भी कर सकते हैं dsc@zmedia.slgroup.com।